Hey, hey, they might share me for this song, hey, but this is how I'm rocking. Can't be trans cause it ain't real. They need a mental asylum. Say the truth, they look at me like I'm the one with the problem, but they mess with little kids. That's why pedophilia rising, but that's what happens when you give an inch to the gays. Promoting sin instead of telling them they should change the ways. They make you wear a mask, you comply, that remind me of slaves. Got my order wrong at McDonald's thinking you need a raise. I'm about to break the meter. Two-way got my heat up. Hey, I don't wear Nike, I only rock Adidas. Hey, I'm in the street, yeah, and most of y'all just tweet us. Paying false teachers, so Bryson got a kill. If a man dress like a woman, then it should be a crime. If you impersonate a cop, then they gon' give you some time. Say you a queen, but all you do is twerk and show your behind. And people think you a 10, but you ain't worth a dime. You scared of COVID, but you around like 400 pounds. Take that mask off and eat fried chicken so you look like a clown. If this offensive, I don't care cause I'm just making my rounds. And if you voted Joe, you a coon. I love how that sound. Hey.
Hey, everybody. Like I said, I've been pushing my own sort of theme song for Simply Felicity recently and getting out there some artists that I think are worthy of mention. Bryson Gray is another artist that allows his songs to be played, and I really appreciate that. I like to get a little pumped up before the show, get some energy going. So, hey, guys, we've got an exciting show for you today. We've got more Munyumba, Mutwale from Zambia, one of the all-time favorite guests that I've ever had on my show, Black Conservative Female. But today we are talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Munyumba Mutwale. And I'm really excited about that. You know, Munyumba has actually been a client of mine, and he's allowing me to say that. My coaching business is kind of multifaceted. This is actually a part of my coaching. Simply Felicity, even Black Conservative Female. I see myself as coaching communities. And so it is an outworking of my private coaching. But I also have a group coaching format called Virtual Vision University. And Munyumba has gone through that program. And as I have just started a special summer self-study program for the month of July. My program is completely donation-based, so you can take the program and decide what you think it's worth and give the donation that you want to give. But I love giving out this information and helping people to bring about the things that they're wanting to in their lives. Now, listen, if this program could help Munyumba, you know it can help you. He's so well put together. He's such a blessing. And so I'm just really, really grateful that he was willing to share his experience of this program with me. And so that's what you guys are going to see today. I am going to put in the comments a link to the event. All you have to do is RSVP that you want to do some summer self-study. You're going to learn how to bring about the things that God wants you to bring in your life through watching these group coaching calls. And so Munyumba is going to tell you his experience here. And it's such an honor to help someone who's already so, you know what I mean, well developed. But even if you are a hot mess, this program was made when I was a complete hot mess. So anyway, thank you for watching. Tell me who you are, where you're watching from, and that you've shared the video so we can get this out to many people. Enjoy more Munyumba.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Simply Felicity. I am being joined by someone that, even though he is somewhat of a new friend, we became close pretty quickly. We are like-minded. He's incredibly intelligent and has just been wowing my audiences that watch Black Conservative Female for a while now. But behind the scenes, I've gotten an opportunity to work with him recently on my Virtual Vision U project, which is the group coaching version of what I offer. And I want to let you all know, if you've been, thinking maybe I need some coaching to get moving on a particular goal, I would highly recommend Virtual Vision U. And we now have an online version of the class. And so I'll be talking to you about that more later, but here to tell us about his results and being involved in our latest Vision 101 class is Munyumba Wale. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. And it is a pleasure, a joy, and every other synonym attached to that.
Absolutely. Well, you are as good of a student as teacher, which should not have been at all a surprise. But yeah, you just really, I love the way you express what you got out of the class. And so tell us why you tried out the class in the first place. I mean, everybody's like, Munyumba's got it going on. He's the king of Zambia to us here that know you in America. So, you know, what more could Munyumba need or want? But why did you decide to? I mean, even if you were just like curious or just because I asked, whatever the answer is, I don't mind. I'm just curious.
Well, I think number one in any I think it's one-on-one marketing is whenever somebody who you trust asks you to try something, you try something. This is why they always say a friend's referral is the single most valuable form of marketing. So I gave it a shot and I went in there with an open mind. But I think it also had to do with the time in my life I was in. I was at a stage where I was restructuring and reorganizing my life, and I was looking at the next steps. Last year, I think, was this monumental moment where I turned 33, and 33 is such an important number to me because that's Jesus's final year on the earth.
Yeah.
So that's what I called my destiny year. What am I now pointing myself to my destiny? So after that, I went into this period where I wanted to look at my next 20 years of my life and say, what's my impact? What's my method? Who am I? So I went through a lot of self-discovery last year. A lot of changes happened in my life, my personal life, my operational life, my professional life. I went through a lot of change. And through that change, it was the time I visited. So I think this also has to do with, I would just say this is divine timing that also came into it. Because just at that moment where I was trying to visualize what my future impact looked like, I was trying to figure it out. Then came along, we sparked off, and then all of a sudden, I hear that you tell me that, look, I'm also trying this, I'm also doing a virtual vision course, virtual course, and I'm trying to do a vision course. And I wanted to see, could it play into visioning my future? And I'll tell you one thing, that just from the first one, it helped me because I realized a weakness I have is I'm a very analytical person because of my work. Because I work in financial markets, because I work in financial media, I'm very analytical. So I'm always looking at things, I'm always strategizing, I'm always this. It was the first moment where I could take a step back, listen, try and do some activities, and my brain was now allowed to process things without trying to calculate and all these complex things. I could just listen. And allowing things to happen and allowing things to just wash over me and allowing information to come in that I wasn't pulling in. Because I'm used to pulling in information, always making sure I understand it, but allowing it to come in, not knowing what the next step is going to be. That was helpful. And what it did for me so much was I was able to ask myself the three most important questions. Who am I? What is my impact? What's my style? What am I doing? And then I was able to put that together in the most incredible way that has just, it's simple, it's effective, and it was just these things of, I think that they're, I can't explain it. I think because maybe I'm too mathematical, but I can't explain it. But and I think what you gave us was not a mathematical approach, but more of it touched a certain part and unlocked what I needed.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
the most
I mean,
important point I was able to see.
You have a teaching, you have a coaching gift as well. And so I just think we approach some very similar concepts in a very different way. And so just to be able to come at it a different way, I would call our approach a lot of like just curiosity. There's a lot of play, actually.
Yes.
There's a lot of playful questions, and there's a lot of, you don't have to necessarily get this right, but like what impresses you right now. And so really just sort of helping people get in touch with, what am I thinking right now? Like, where am I at in this present moment? What do I want right now? And so you can and for someone like you that already has some pretty well defined goals and everything, you can take that and say, you know, where are my desires at currently, and how does that line up with what I'm projecting for myself, right? And then making sure that there's a connectedness there. So yeah, I found you were able to synthesize that really well.
It's true. And truth be told, it was the ability to just put it all together, and see it. I think that was the most scary thing, is doing something you can't see. Basically working blind almost. And that's terrifying, because every step, you never know if you're walking off a cliff or not. But what this did was, I was finally able to see the big picture and able to see the little steps and the connections. And my journey I've gone straight into action mode because of that. And I'm inspired to continue going as well.
Oh, that's so exciting. And then, well, so the Virtual Vision U is 4 classes. And so you are now able to take those at your own pace by doing it online. We won't be offering that class again until later in the year. But if you say summer is a good time, we're at the midpoint of the year, and you want to kind of reevaluate some things for yourself, you can go ahead and take this and purchase the full sort of package of 4, and then take those at your pace, doing the homework, sending it in, so you will get some accountability there. So we also, if you take that class, you can be a part of our mastermind calls. And well, actually, we have a mastermind session within the class, and then we have a mastermind call. I know those were really valuable for you as well, where you were getting feedback from some of the other participants. And so talk to us about how that was for you.
The most simple activity in the world is verbalizing something and then having someone just say it back to you. It's the most effective exercise, and because there's a human element to it, sitting down in a controlled room with somebody, because you put us in separate rooms virtually, just like magic.
Yeah.
And we were able to talk to each other and say our visions. And I remember this when I was young. The school life skills teacher, when I was in high school, told us that the most powerful weapon is verbalization, because all problems become smaller the moment the words come out.
Wow.
The moment you speak something positive, all the negatives in the world finally start to get smaller and smaller. So being able to say, what do I want to achieve? Now it became like a mantra, because that's when I came up with, it was actually in those mastermind sessions where I came up with my acronyms for my things, because I work with acronyms. And that's where I came up with.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just, when I heard someone say what I was talking about back to me, my brain started to calculate acronyms for me and process it. Because once I could hear, it's like I was learning what I was trying to say. And all of a sudden, that's when I came up with Life in 3D, the C4 movement, and the 5 Fs. That literally just becomes my pyramid of life. And it's got all my goals, from my impact I want to make on the world, to my professional goals, which is C4, to my 5 Fs, which is my life and what I'm trying to do with my life and itself. So I was able to put that in a slide, and it sits visually. It's my vision board. And I have action attached to it. That's the most important thing. I have action points, because my rule is, once I've got a vision, what are the next 5 steps? Once I've got a goal, what are my next 5 steps? And so much has come out of that, in terms of being able to say, what's for the next 3 months? What's for the next 6 months? What do I not touch? What do I touch? Organizing and putting things in order had helped me defeat procrastination as well, because that's something I struggled with, because I often have a lot and I can't figure out which one is the first one. But that helped me get through the procrastination problem. It's something that a lot of people, even in my profession, have. We take on so much analysis work. We're used to multitasking information that we sometimes forget that, we have to do tasks one at a time. So it was that ability to hold it back and just put what's number one, what's number two, what's number three, what goals am I working on? When do I do this? When do I do that? All of a sudden I could streamline, and I've actually in progress of developing about 2 major projects right now and pushing for my 3rd one, which I'm doing I'm in the creative stage of it, but there's actual products and company work coming out of this as well.
Wow. I want to be able to say, results might not be typical. You're not the typical guy. I mean, you came preloaded with a lot of work that you had done internally to really know and understand what it was that you wanted to do. But you truly are a great example, and I know that people really get the results that they're looking to get, and sometimes quite above, because they don't know what to expect. And I do really encourage people that a lot of times procrastination, laziness, lack of discipline, those are really can be determined by your vision. Proverbs 29:18 says, for a lack of vision, people perish. Another version says, for a lack of vision, people cast off restraint. So a well-defined, properly aligned vision ends up putting those constraints on where you're like excited. And when you're excited and when you're inspired, as you said, it helps you do those things that you're needing to do. Maybe things that you weren't able to get yourself, because when you move from the arena of should to the arena of could, what is possible, then we find that the motivation can come out of the inspiration. And there's no truer, better inspiration that's going to come when you're inspired by God, right? So we believe that the very days of our lives were written out before we even lived one of them. And so that's what the Bible says. And so once you align yourself with that God has already ordained for you, like how much more, actually inspired means breath of God. Actually, that's enthusiasm, but it's inspire because aspire, that's breath too. So they're kind of closely related words. No. Inspire is breath of God. Enthusiasm is in God. Excitement in God. So but enthusiasm, inspiration, what more do you want when you're attacking when you're going for your goals and dreams, right? So we really like to help you align with that. I love the way you described that. So when I was talking about the mastermind, I was talking about where we did the problem solving exercise, and you guys gave us something you wanted to work on, and then everyone contributed responses. And you actually did find some cool things for procrastination. Talk about, when we went around about that.
So when dealing with procrastination, because obviously I said that's my problem, that's my key weakness, being able to see what's aside. Various answers were put together. One was know yourself, so that you understand yourself, because some of the things, maybe you're trying to do things that are not connected with who you are, and it becomes very difficult to put it together. I think even we had a special mastermind session as well, where we talked about things such as doing things that you have the grace for. And it connected to this thing of ikigai. I remember where it talked about doing something you love, but also something you are skilled or talented at. It must be something you love, you're talented at, can get remunerated for, and has an impact. So sometimes we look at some things we're passionate about. So there's some things I'm passionate about, but I'm not talented in them. And that's where collaboration comes in. And I think what has helped me with that is I'm able to look at who can I collaborate with. So I started reaching out to people as well for certain parts of the work I need to do, and where can I put what I'm good at and what they're good at together, and all of a sudden there's more motion. My business partner knows that he's very good with the hands-on nitty-gritty operations. I'm good at strategic designing of products and financial services work. That's why I was struggling, because I was trying to do the things he was supposed to do. God put us together to work together because there are things he can do and there are things I can do.
Yeah.
And I need to stop going into his field as well. And some of the other things people just told me is write down your stuff. So I wrote everything into an Excel spreadsheet in terms of what I need to do when I could see it on a piece of paper and not in my mind, because I think that's where the problem was, seeing it from a piece of paper. That's where the problem was, writing down what steps I need to take. Once I could write down what are the next steps for anything and getting straight into something like that allowed it as well. And also saying no to certain things.
Yeah.
Just being willing to say no to certain things and say, not now. I'll only look at that in 2 to 3 weeks, or I'll look at that in a month. I'm only going to start looking at that at the beginning of next year, and being okay with it. Not wanting everything to be successful immediately. And also, finally, what killed off the spirit of procrastination, and well, not totally killed it off, but really pulled it down, was really just saying to myself, all I have to do in life is be successful at one thing. And then that one thing will spin off into success at many things. So doors open doors. That's when I looked at it and said, why do I have to spin 7 plates around when if I spin one plate very well, I can spin the next one and the next one and the next one. And all of a sudden it's better. Then finally, I just started to use technology also to fight procrastination. A lot of my work is technological. I'm always on my computer. So I put an application on my browser which blocks certain websites, including social media. So I've actually got like a budgeted time I could use a day. It blocks those things. And then I have to like fill in like a word test just to see if I'm allowed to even change it. It's like I have to type 50 words correctly in a row.
Wow.
Just to even make an amendment. Then I blocked the amount of tabs. And then I also started to clear my space. I realized that my working space was sometimes untidy. It would reflect my mind. So if I cleaned it up, my mind would clear up, my air would clear up. And then I started to see that I could reprogram my mind by just making decisions to make sure it was reprogrammed. So that mastermind session helped me think of things I could do. And also just, this is what I mean, the beauty of listening sometimes, bouncing off a problem to people and hearing them say it was a beautiful thing. And the one thing I'll advise from that session is, there is a rule. You're not allowed to tell people what they're saying is wrong. You're not allowed to tell people you've heard it before. And I think that forces you to listen.
Yeah.
And in that listening, you're learning.
Absolutely. Those sessions have, helped me to see sometimes I cut people off too quickly, because you think you know what they're about to say, but you don't always know what you're about, because people use language differently. So they could be leading to something totally different than what you thought that they were going to say. So it is a beautiful practice. Again, all of that you will get to avail yourself to if you take advantage of the completely online version, self-study of Virtual Vision University's Vision 101. So I hope that this encourages you, that, even someone as high level as Munyumba, I mean, he's just a pretty productive guy. He keeps his goals always before him. He's always working on himself, right? And so just to try something different, that's what I really kind of feel like the message is for you today. Just try something different. If you have something that you've really been trying to get accomplished and you're like, I'm not getting it done, reach out and let's try something different here. You can get in touch with me, message me on Simply Felicity Media, and I can discuss with you how to get you all signed up for that. And listen, we're excited to just expand this program, because every class we have such great feedback and such good experience. So we just want to get it out to more people. And so, Munyumba, thank you so much for just taking time to help me explain what the impact has been on someone else. So thank you.
Thank you for being an oracle of knowledge, and also for helping guide us through a journey. And I'm going to say I'm building a fintech, and I'm starting my media and production company this year as well because of that. And as I said, a fintech which was stalled for 2 years is about to take off in about a month with an outside team and with a full team working.
We're going to say that that's absolutely what can happen for you too. It certainly can, because it starts with that vision. And so this thing can be as big as you dream it to be. And in Ephesians, it says that our God desires to do exceeding abundantly above all we can ask, all we can think, or all that we can imagine. So what we do is we have you start with your vision. You write that down. We guide you how to do that. And then God wants to blow your mind to the place where, like Mary in the Bible, after the angel spoke to her, she said, "How could this be?" When your vision for your future puts you in a place that you're like, "How could this be? How could this even happen for me?" That's called inspiration. That's taking your breath away. That's exactly what God wants to do for you. I know Munyumba has known that there's greater for him. And you may have that. You may say, boy, I know that there's greater for me. I know I could be maximizing, I could be doing more. So I believe you are watching for such a time as this. I look forward to engaging you and look forward to engaging you for Black Conservative Female every month. Be sure to check Munyumba out as a monthly contributor. And because his shows are just fantastic. So thanks again. All right.